So I'm gonna do another shelf in 2-point perspective. This is gonna give you an idea of what it looks like when you've drawn it. So to make another shelf below this, I wanna start with the corner of the shelf that's closest to us. So I'm gonna line up my ruler with that corner that we started with. And I'm gonna make another little corner that lines up with it right below. So I'm starting a new shelf that's right below the one above it. So from here, I have this little corner line. I'm gonna make lines that go back to each vanishing point from the top and the bottom of that little line. So I'm gonna go back this way and this way. And then same thing here on the top of that. And there. So now I just need to break that box, break the boxes off on the outer edges. So I'm gonna use the outer edge of the shelf here as a guide to where I'm gonna cut it off here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side where it's supposed to meet the wall. I'm gonna line up my ruler with that and use that to cut off the shelf below. So this one's almost at the horizon line, so it's gonna be, we're not gonna see that much of the bottom, but I'll show you how we would do it, which is take your ruler, line it up with the bottom of that outer corner. Make a line going back to the opposite vanishing point from it, and do the same thing with the other side. So there's another shelf. I'll make another shelf below it so you can see what it looks like below the horizon line. If we're gonna be below the horizon line, we're gonna start with a corner down here that lines up with the first 2 corners I made of those shelves. And I'll start it out by making a line going from the top of this corner line. I'm not gonna go all the way because I know I'm not gonna need to. And I'm also gonna make a line going back to the other vanishing point. And then I'll do the same thing from the bottom of that corner. To cut this off, I'm gonna line it up with the first 2 shelves by lining up the ruler there. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side to line it up. And then I can erase the extra. And then to finish this box off, I'm gonna make a line going from this outer corner, the top of it, to the opposite vanishing point, and then from this corner, the top of it, going back to the other vanishing point opposite. So I'm also, again, I'm not really gonna see a lot of this shelf here at all, because it's really close to the horizon line. So that would be the next shelf. So I'll do another shelf down below so you can kind of see like how they change as they go down here. It's above the horizon line. So we see the bottom of that shelf a little bit more. As it gets closer to the horizon line, we don't see very much of the surface or the bottom of the shelf. Now we're gonna make a shelf that's closer to the floor. So I'll start with the corner closest to us. And I'm lining it up with the first 3 corners I did. So it's in line. Now I'm gonna make lines going back to each vanishing point from the top of that corner. And I'll make a line going back to each vanishing point from the bottom of that corner. So to cut this off, I'm going to use the outer edges of the shelves above it to cut out this part here. And then same thing on the other side. I'm going to cut it off there. And now I just need to make the top surface of that shelf. So I'm going to start at the top of that outer corner and make a line that goes to the opposite vanishing point. And the same thing on the other side, the top of that outer corner going back to the vanishing point. So that would be more or less what it would look like if you had shelves both above and below the horizon line. Now, say you wanted to make this into a bookcase. If you want to make this into a bookcase, I can show you how. And I think it will be pretty easy to see. Raise your hand if you're not ready to move on. All right, I'm just going to turn this into a bookcase. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'll start with the bookcase coming out. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I'm recording it also, so I'll post it up on the website. So I'm gonna I'm gonna make a bookshelf, like a bookcase. I'm gonna put it on the right hand side, and I can try to show you how to turn this into a bookcase after. I just don't want to confuse anybody. So to make the bookcase, I want to figure out where the corner closest to us is going to be. So the bookcase, we're not doing it built in. Did anybody want to do a built-in bookcase? Yeah. Okay. So the corner of the bookcase facing us has to be out in the room somewhere. It can't be in the wall. So we need to start it somehow out into the room a little bit. So that could be like a place where the corner might sit in the room. And I'm going to make a line going up vertical as high as I want this bookcase to go. And I'm going to make this into a box. And when I'm making the corners of this box going, or the sides of this box going back, I'm going to start here in the corner facing us. And I'm going to make a line going towards the wall, but I'm going to stop when I get to the wall. So I'm stopping as I get to the wall. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Stopping however, like at whatever width I want the bookcase to be. I'm going to make it kind of a narrower one, like a skinnier one. And then I'm going to make lines going from the top of this box back to the vanishing points. So here I got my corner facing us, the side of the box here, and the front of the bookcase here. And now I just need to cut it off. I'm going to erase the line, the wall line where this bookcase is going to be so it doesn't confuse me. So you might want to look up and see what I just did where I erased right here so that I don't see the wall through that bookcase. Now I'm going to cut off that box by making the verticals here and here, however wide I want that bookcase to be. And I'll erase any extra. Now, you'll probably, if since the bookcase, you'll probably want to make it look like it has some thickness. So what I'm gonna do, this part, you'll probably want to watch. Guys, can we stop? You'll probably want to watch this. Just I'm gonna make the box look see-through as a guide for the bookshelf, like the shelves. But I'm gonna make those lines really light, just so I have them, but they're not confusing me. So to make it look see-through, I need to go from the outer corners of the box back to that opposite vanishing point. So I actually redid the floor line. So from the bottom, I'm going back to the wall. I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna do the same thing up on the top, taking that outer corner and going to the opposite vanishing point. Outer corner here to the vanishing point. And wherever those two lines meet is where my back corner of the box is gonna be if it were see-through. So I just need to connect here and here where those two lines cross to make the bookcase look like it's like a big see-through box. Now I just want that as a guide. I don't want it to confuse me, so I can even lighten it up a little bit with my pencil, just so I have like the barely there.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Hi, Jamie.
Papa.
So from here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try to make it look like I have a little bit of thickness to the outer edges of this box all the way around. So I'm gonna start at the outer edge and drag my pencil in a little bit and make a line going all the way up. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. All the way up to the top. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom of the box. And on the top. Did I lose anybody? I'm just kind of like trucking on through this. So I am recording it in case you need to see it later. So I'm just erasing any lines within that little frame. So it looks like it has a little bit of thickness there. And then now I'm going to make some shelves. So to make the shelves, I would basically just be making lines that are breaking up the front of the box. And so I'll just kind of make a few. I'll make like 3 or 4 shelves. So from here, I'm going to go down, and I'm also going to make another line right below it to give it some thickness. And then I'm going to go down and do that again. And then I'll make one last one. So that's going to be the 3 shelves I'll make. Take a look at it. Is it confusing anybody? Abby, did I lose you? You're not? Okay. Who is doing shelves? Yep. Okay. Anybody still looking at this one, the bookcase? Doesn't look like it, but I'm going to finish it off anyway. So to make these look like shelves, this shelf is gonna need, we're gonna see the underside of it because it's over the horizon line. So I'm gonna connect the under side of that to the back end of that back corner of the box. And then go from there. So I made bottom. This one's so close to the horizon line, I don't think that I'll be able to really see much. I'm just kind of gonna go through it, because I'm not sure how many people are doing the shelves. You can always go back and look at it. So once I got that, I can erase the floor line within here. I can erase here. I can darken here, 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 and there. Okay, so that's a bookshelf, bookcase. I'll do a little table. I know that a number of you guys wanted to see a table. So I'm gonna start out by making the room, because I don't have a lot of room in this one. So I'll just do that without really explaining what I'm doing.